Tahniah. Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia, sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Okay, good evening, teachers, parents, and all the wonderful students. Welcome to Pusat Tuisyen Academy YouTube. Bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. How are you all doing today? I hope all of you are ready for today's lesson. Before we proceed, let's say our prayer in our own way. Let me introduce myself to those who don't know me. I am Teacher Shirley, the moderator of the day. We at Pusat Tuisyen Academy YouTuber will provide you with free online classes. So take this opportunity to do your revision. Are you ready? Let me introduce our teacher for today's lesson. We have Teacher Gan Bin Hun from SMK King George V Seremban. We are now live on Teacher Gan's channel. Please support her channel, Educator Omnitude, by clicking subscribe now. The topic of today's lesson is Writing Made Easy. Together with us, we also have Teacher Eza from SM Science Selangor, KL, who is in charge of technical support, and Teacher Aisha from SMK Meranti, Pasir Mas, Kelantan, as observer to ensure the smoothness of our lesson. So before we begin, I have a few reminders to all of you. First, please pay attention to our lesson. Stop chatting and use the chat section wisely. Number 2, regarding certificate link, the link will be given at the end of our session. Please use e-didik account when you fill in your particulars and make sure to listen to the passcode given by the presenter. And fill in the form within the time limit, which is 30 minutes. So, without further ado, let's welcome Teacher Gan Bin Hun.
Thank you, Teacher Shirley. So can I start my sharing?
Yes, sure.
Can you see the slides now?
Yeah, we can see it. It's clear.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to all the students and parents and also teachers who are watching today's lesson. So as Teacher Shirley mentioned earlier, so I'm going to start my Writing Made Easy maybe a series. Okay, so this is series number 1. So hopefully we can have more series after that, 2, 3, and so on, because we are going to focus on the 2 parts of the writing paper for lower secondary. Okay, so this is series number 1. Okay, so today, as Cikgu Teacher Shirley mentioned, we have 3 teachers with us. We have Teacher Shirley. Her channel is Learning Through Fun. And then we have Teacher Aisha, Cikgu Aisha. Her channel is Learning English with Cikgu Aisha. And then we have Teacher Eza. Her channel is English Made Easy. Is it? English Made Easy, Teacher Eza. Okay, so these are the channels of these teachers who are on duty today. Okay, before we continue, These are the teachers also who always do live sessions, maybe on Monday, Wednesday, and also on Friday. And next we have the educational videos related to the English language. Okay, these are on the channel according to the list. Okay, so we have English panel is under the Academy YouTuber. So you have the various playlists here. So these are the teachers who have produced the videos for English. And let's look at the playlist now. Okay, so now we have 3 playlists for lower secondary, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. So here you have the QR code. Okay, or you can type tinyurl.com/RU English Form 3 or /RU English Form 2 and also /RU English Form 1. So these are the playlists for lower secondary. Okay, next we have the playlist for the upper secondary. We are using a different link, which is bit.ly English SPN 1119. So you can also scan the QR code here. Okay, and then the links for all these playlists, the upper secondary and lower secondary, will be shared in the chat box. Okay, so don't forget there is also the IU credits, right? So you, as you watch, you also can claim points or credits, and then you can redeem with interesting prizes. Okay, let's continue, and don't forget about the IU app for your mobile phone. Okay, so do you have this app? If you not yet install it on your mobile phone, so do so. This is Aplikasi Academy YouTuber. Okay, so let's begin our part 1.
Teacher Gan?
I share the code. Yes.
Yeah,
That's good, is it? Okay, I didn't forget. So the code is supposed to be shared at 5 minutes, right? Interval of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first code is plus an alphabet. Okay, so the first one is A10 or A10. Okay, A1 and 0. So we have A1 and 0. Okay, so there are more numbers now, okay, bigger numbers. So as I mentioned earlier, we are doing part 1. So this is writing paper. So the code is 12/2. So this is your code for the English paper. Okay, so today's content, we're going to look at the writing paper itself. And then there is the assessment part, which is very important because you have to have a guideline of how to write. Okay, then assessment scale is the best guideline. Okay, then we have the techniques of how to write for part 1. And also the last part is the exercise or exercises. Okay, so let's start. So remember that part 1 is called short communicative message. Okay, so this is how your paper will look like when you are in Form 3. So if you are in Form 1, it's written as Pentaksiran Tingkatan 1. And in Form 2, it is called Pentaksiran Tingkatan 2. And Form 3 is Pentaksiran Tingkatan 3. Okay. So this is the Bahasa Inggeris penulisan paper. So it is 1 hour. Okay, you can see here. It is 1 hour. Okay, total marks, part 1, part A, is 20 marks and part B is also 20 marks. So the total 40 marks. Okay, so part 1 will look like this. Where you have the question and you have a box here, okay, for you to write your answer. And then we have part 2. It is definitely a mind map. Okay, so this is the format given by the Lembaga Peperiksaan. Okay, let's continue. So let's look at part 1. Part 1, 20 marks. You should spend about 25 minutes in this part. So you read the message from your English-speaking friend. So when you read your question paper, you're supposed to highlight. Okay, it is better for you to highlight or underline. Okay, so it is an English-speaking friend. His name is Alex. So hi, I'm thinking of starting a new hobby. I could do cooking. So there are options given: cooking, cycling, or painting, or maybe something else. What should I do? Let me know what you think. Okay, so this is a message from Alex. So remember, you have to write in about 80 words. You shouldn't write longer because this is the only space given for your answer. Okay, so you have to write a message to Alex giving some advice. So remember, you're giving advice. So when you give advice, definitely you have to give your reason for the advice. Okay, so here you remember for part 1, definitely there will be 3 choices: cooking, cycling, or painting. So you cannot run away from choosing one. Okay, you have to choose one only. So either cooking, cycling, or painting. But there is also an option, or maybe something else. So if you cannot write cooking, you cannot write cycling, or you cannot write painting, maybe you can choose something else. Okay, but it must be a new hobby. Okay, then you have the greeting, hi Alex. If it's not given, you have to write hi Alex for the greeting. And then you have the ending where you sign off. It is from or by. So if it's not written, you have to do so. Okay. Okay, so this is the format for part 1. So part 2 is also 20 marks, but here you have to spend longer. So this is 35 minutes. Just now was 25 minutes. So in your class, we have been talking about celebrations. So celebrations. In about 120 word, write an essay about celebration you enjoy. Okay, you enjoy. So this is definitely in present tense. Okay, it is about a celebration you enjoy. So here, remember, there are 6 bubbles. Okay, so you have to answer all the WH questions. So the instruction will be write your essay. So this is the subject matter or the topic. And around it, you have 6 bubbles with WH, like how you feel, why you celebrate, who you celebrate with, what you do, when you celebrate it, and where you go. Okay, so this is the format for part 2. Okay, let's look at the objective of your writing paper. What are you tested on? Definitely, you're tested on to explain simple content. So the exam paper wants you to answer simple content, or maybe also write about simple processes. Okay, summarize is not there because this is a writing paper. So summary is more on the objective for your lessons in class. Okay, the next one, you have to be able to express and respond to opinions and common feelings. So you have to write about opinions and also your feelings, okay, such as happiness, sadness, surprise, and others. So this could happen in both part 1 and part 2. And also, what are you tested on? Whether you can organize, you can sequence, and you can develop ideas, okay? So it is on familiar topics. Okay, then punctuate. Punctuate means using the tools for writing, like your full stop, your commas, your colon, your question marks or exclamation marks, and others. Okay, so you are tested on your punctuation too. And then next one, spelling, whether you can spell the words in your essay. Okay, so spelling is also part of the test, objective of the exam. And then whether you can produce a plan or a draft of minimum 2 paragraphs or more. Okay, so that whether you can write in 2 paragraphs or 3 or 4 paragraphs. And the last one, whether you can use formal and informal registers correctly or appropriately. So you are tested on all these tasks, okay? Whether you can write simple process, express feeling, whether you can use punctuation, okay? And then whether you can spell, and then you can also write using the correct registers, okay? So these are the objectives for writing. Okay, let's look at the assessment. Assessment, you are assessed on 4 criteria. So you have content, you have communicative achievement, you have organization, and you have language. So C, content, CA, communicative achievement, O, organization, and L is language. Okay, so let's look at part 1. So there are different assessments for part 1 and also part 2. Okay, here, this part assesses students' ability to write a short response. So remember, it is short response. Okay, it can be an informal letter also for part 1. Okay, this is taken from the guideline from the Lembaga Peperiksaan. So it can be an informal letter, it can be an email, or it can be a message. Okay, there are 2 types of message. It can be in a note form or it can be on a postcard. Okay. So remember, content 5 marks, communicative achievement 5 marks, organization 5 marks, and language 5 marks. That's how you get 20 marks. Okay. So how to get 5 marks for content? You must know how to write so that you can score 5 for content. Okay. So all content is relevant. It means that you have to answer all the tasks. Okay. The task given. If WH how to get 5 marks for communicative achievements. So you have to produce a text that communicates straightforward ideas. It means if I read your answer or your teacher or the examiner reads your answer, we will know that, okay, this is an email or this is a message. Okay, that is called text that communicate straightforward ideas. When we read, we know this is an email. It is not an article or it is not a story. Okay. And then next one, what is O? O, 5 marks. How to get 5 marks? You have to use simple connectors like and, but, so, because. Okay. First or firstly, then, next. So these are called simple connectors. But if you only write simple connectors, you cannot get 5 marks. Okay, you must have also a limited number of cohesive devices. Cohesive devices are a higher level of connectors or linking words, such as moreover, furthermore, therefore. Okay, so these are better words that you can score 5 marks. If you don't use all these words, you only get about 3 marks. Okay. So you have to have a limited number of cohesive devices. So maybe 2 or 3 better linking words. Okay. 5, how to get 5? You have to use basic vocabulary. The vocabulary must be appropriate. Okay, suitable with what you're writing. If it's about celebration, the vocabulary must be suitable for celebration or describing celebration. And then let's look at your grammar. So simple grammatical form with a good degree of control. You must be able to write simple sentences correctly. Okay. So only simple sentences. So if you try to write maybe complex sentences, there may be more errors there. Okay. So you have to control and make sure that your simple sentences are correct. Okay, what errors are noticeable, meaning can still be determined. So it means that when an examiner reads your answer, we can understand what you're trying to say. Okay, so even though you have errors are noticeable. But if the meaning is there, you can still get 5 marks for language. So the hardest one, I think, is the language is the hardest to score 5. Okay, so if you follow properly, you can score 5 for content. You can score 5 for communicative achievement, and you can score 5 for organization. But here maybe you will get lower marks if your grammar or your vocabulary is not that good. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next one. We have part 2. Part 2 is different. Okay, this part assesses students' ability to write an essay or article. Okay, so it is an essay or an article based on a visual stimulus. Visual stimulus here is the mind map. Okay, so all content again, content C, how to get 5 marks, it must be relevant. Relevant means you must answer all the tasks. Okay, here, when a teacher or examiner reads, he or she knows that this is an article. Okay, so make sure that that is called the conventions or the communicative tasks. Okay, whether it is an article or whether you're writing a story. So you must be very clear with the instructions. Okay, organization, how to score 5. Text is well organized. So organized means there are paragraphing and coherent. Coherent means there are linking words to join each from sentence 1 to sentence 2, or maybe from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2, paragraph 3. So there is a flow there. Okay. So when you read, you know. You have the words like then, next. So these are the linking words that need to be used so that your paragraphs are well organized. Okay, and that coherent means they are linked together properly. Paragraph 1, how you link to paragraph 2, how you link to paragraph 3, and other paragraphs. Okay, so you need to use. But here you see, okay, let's look at part 1 again. Here you have simple connectors. But to score in part 2, okay, to score in part 2, you cannot use simple connectors. If you use simple connectors, you cannot get 5 marks. You have to use variety of cohesive devices. So you see here, to write an essay for part 2 is more difficult. Why? Because you have to use better linking words. Okay, higher level linking words or connectors. Okay, so you need to use more of like moreover, furthermore, besides, therefore, okay, subsequently, consequently. So you have to use all that to score more marks for organization. Okay, so if you only use the basic connectors, you will get 3 marks for organization. Okay, language. Just now we saw the everyday vocabulary. It is still here. Lexis means vocabulary of higher level. So here they want to see in part 2, when you write an article or an essay, you have to use better vocabulary. Okay, so here you can score 5 marks. And then here, just now we only have simple sentences. Okay, I go back. You can see here simple grammatical forms. So simple sentence structure. But when you go to part 2, we want you to be able to write simple and also some complex grammatical forms. So we want both simple sentences and also complex sentences. Okay, and then you must be able to write correctly, because that's why it is called with a good degree of control. Okay, if you have errors, don't worry. If the errors, if we can understand, despite all the errors, you can still score 5 marks. Okay, but when we read, we do not understand. Okay, impede reading means we are not sure what the students are trying to write. So if that happens, you will score lesser marks, maybe 3 or 4 marks. Okay, so here remember, you must be able to write using better vocabulary, simple sentences, and also complex sentences. And for all, you need to use better linking words or phrases. Okay, so you can see part 2, you can still score 5 marks for content. Maybe you can score 5 for communicative achievement, but organization and also language, these two are harder for you to get 5 marks. So maybe you end up with 3 or 4 marks here. So that's why you have to understand what are the things that you have to do in your exam. Okay, what words to use, what phrases to use. Okay, let's look at this. This is a summary. This is given by Cambridge English. So this is how you can understand content, communicative achievement, organization, and language easier. So what is content? Content means the candidate answered the task. They have done what they were asked to do. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay. So what is communicative achievement? Communicative achievement is the writing is appropriate for the task. If the task is an essay, so it should be an essay. If it's an article, it should be an article. Okay. The candidate use a style which is appropriate for the specific communicative content. Okay, so this is how you can understand CA. So what is organization? Oh, the writing is put together well. Okay, put together means how you put paragraph 1 together with paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and so on. Okay, it is logical and ordered. Means there ada sinambungan dan juga ada susunan. Okay, it's ordered. You have the organization there. So that is O. Okay, organization of the paragraphs. Okay, what is L? L is there is a good range of vocabulary and grammar. You need to have the grammar, you need to have the vocabulary. Okay, they are used correctly or accurately. Collocations are used appropriately. Okay, collocations are like words which are combined. It can be phrasal verbs, it can be idioms, so they must be used correctly. Okay, that's how you understand language. Okay.
Teacher
So
Gan?
any questions? Ms. Kim, yes?
Can we give them the
Any
second
question?
card? Can we give
Do
them
you
the
have questions
second
about
part?
the marking scheme? No questions. No questions. I'll continue.
Teacher Gan, can we give them the second code?
Second code.
Can we
Yeah. Okay. Second code. Okay. Second code is number 4. Number 4. Okay. Number 4. So let's look at part 1. Part 1, you have informal letter, you have an email, or you have a message. Okay. So remember that is part 1. So here, let me explain what is part 2. What is an essay? Okay. According to Cambridge Dictionary, essays are used, okay, to assess your understanding of specific ideas and your ability to explain this in your own words. So there is an essay. So essay means just simple paragraphing, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, but you must be able to explain specific ideas. So how many types of essay you have? You have argumentative or persuasive, you have comparative, you have expository and narrative. Okay. So what is argumentative or persuasive? It is to argue. Okay, so when you argue means you have to choose. Okay, choose, and then you have to give details or reason for your choice. And then you explain. But argue means you choose one only. Okay. So what is expository? Expository is to describe or explain a specific topic. So you describe maybe a process, maybe it's related to recycling. So you describe. Okay. So what is narrative? Narrative is tell a story or describe an event. Okay. So that's why an essay can be a story. Okay, let's continue. So let's look at part 1. Today we're going to look at part 1 first. So let's look at the question here. Okay, you should spend about 25 minutes in this part. Read the message from your English speaking friend. So the name is given Emily. Say hello. Shall we do some charity work for our club activity next month? So it is charity work. Charity work means you do some work or you do a job, but you don't get paid. Okay, there's no money for it. You do it for free. That's why it is called charity. So it is for club. So you can decide what club is it. You can create your own club. Okay, when is it? Next month. We could help at the old folks home, first choice. You have old folks home. Second choice, you have orphanage or animal shelter. What should we do? Okay, so that's question. What should you do? Okay, please let me know what you think, Emily. In about 80 words, write a message to, sorry, wrong name, okay? I didn't change the name because earlier it was Alex, okay? So write a message to Emily giving some advice. Okay. So this is a question. Remember that you have 3 choices, either old folks home, orphanage, or animal shelter. So I forgot here, the O is here, okay? So this is how you write in your exam. So when you have this, my advice will be to have a table. So this table, you make a choice. You want old folks home, you want orphanage, or animal shelter. So your table should have 2 columns. First column is for this, and second column is for your choice. You have 2 columns, but as you go down the table, you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 rows. So your table should have 2 columns, 1 column here, 1 column going down here, and 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, sorry. 5 rows. Okay. 5 rows. So you have to write. This is the Oreo format where you have O, opinion, R, reason, E is for evidence or example, and O again for opinion. So it is the Oreo method. Okay. So remember O, R, E, and O. Okay. The first O is for your opinion. You have to write what is your opinion. And it's better for you to give reason, because without reason, you won't be writing to explain. Okay. Because remember, you have to write main ideas and also explain. Those are the objectives of the exam. And then you need to provide evidence or example if it is suitable or relevant. And the last O, remember, the last O is only in the last paragraph where you restate. Okay, you can do that. So let's look at the first one. For example, you're going to choose old folks home. So this is your choice. Okay, so let's see what you can write. Maybe why you choose old folks home. The reason, to show that you care and love these old folks, okay, or the elderly. Okay, so old folks are called also the elderly. L, the, D-E-R, okay, L-Y. So orang tua is called the elder old folks. Okay, then you give your reason. Why do you want to do charity work? Okay, charity work in the old folks home. Why? What are you going to do? Okay, why? Because you want to show that you love them and you care for them. Okay, and then what are the things that you can do? You say clean the place. Okay, how to clean the place? You give examples like cut the grass, clean the room, sweep the garden, gather the dead leaves. Or you can also say you are going to help the elderly. What can you do? Okay, maybe nails. Okay, I remember those days in the PMR paper, you have comb the hair. You can't be a barber to cut the hair, okay? So you won't be able to cut the hair properly. So maybe comb their hair, trim their fingernails, okay, and do other things. Or you can write also an activity like entertain. So you want to entertain these elderly or old people. You can do performances, maybe singing, dancing, okay? Or you can say play games. But old people, is harder for them to play games, right? They may have injuries or break their bones and so on. So it's better not to write play games. Okay. Or
Gan,
maybe
can we
yes?
have a breakfast?
Can.
Thank you.
Wow, banyaknya hadiah menarik menanti anda. Wah, kini Akademi YouTuber mengambil inisiatif baru di mana memberikan hadiah-hadiah ini secara percuma. Ya, percuma kepada anda semua. Bagaimana caranya? Dengan mengikuti kelas tuition online percuma Akademi YouTuber sambil mengutip mata kredit, anda dapat menukarkannya dengan hadiah-hadiah yang menarik ini. Tunggu apa lagi? Segalanya percuma. Jangan lepaskan peluang tau. Dah dapat banyak hadiah menarik, takkan nak lepaskan peluang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com sekarang untuk maklumat lanjut.
Okay, we are done with our break. Okay, so now we shall invite Teacher Gan to continue with her interesting lesson.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
So if the next choice is orphanage, okay, so you can write your opinion for orphanage. Okay, for example, this is your choice. So where's the pen? Yeah, this is my pen. I lost my pen. Okay, so if you choose orphanage, so this is your choice, right? Orphanage. So you need to write reason why you choose orphanage. Maybe you can write the same reason to show that you love and care or you are concerned. Okay, concerned. Okay, you are concerned. So concern means rasa. What is in BM concern?
Ambil berat.
Ambil berat, yes. Thank you, Teacher Jelly. Thank you. Okay, so orphanage, these people are called, what are they called? Orphans, right? They are called orphans. So sorry for my writing because I'm using a mouse. Okay, orphans, O-R-P-H-A-N-S, orphans. So they are called orphans. Okay, so what can you do? So now you're writing the examples. Maybe you can say cook dishes. Maybe fried chicken, or you can buy, okay, instead of cooking, you can buy sandwiches or you buy pizza. So instead of cook, you can put buy here. Okay. And you can write reason because these are the things that they seldom eat. Okay. Or you can also write the same thing, entertain the children. Okay, you can have singing, okay, singing songs, or you can have dances, okay, you can have dances or you can dance, okay, then you have games. Or you can also buy toys or gifts for them. So these are called your answer and also your elaboration, the main ideas and the details. Okay, so but if you don't want to choose old folks home, you don't want orphanage, you want animal shelter. So this could be your choice. Yes. You say, teacher, I want animal shelter. Okay. So before that, you can write the reason why I want to choose animal shelter. To show your concern, my concern, our concern, to show our concern. So here no S, okay? Sorry, not S-E-D. To show our concern. So no E-D here, okay? So if were or we are concerned, if you put the word are here, that's why later on I'm going to show you how to write the sentences, okay? So here are concerned. We are concerned, ED. But to show only concern, no ED, okay? Why you show concern? Because these are abandoned animals, okay? Meaning that their owners left them or threw them away, okay? So they're abandoned, okay? Terbiar, okay? So what can you do? The evidence or the examples. You can write, you can clean the cages when you are there. You can give animals a bath. You can buy food for the animals, or you can play with them. Okay, so these are how you write for your exam. Because if you don't write all the explanation examples, you are not elaborating. Okay, remember one of the objectives of the exam is you need to elaborate or give supporting details. Okay, okay, let's continue. Okay, how to write. So the series writing made easy. I'm going to concentrate more on the sentence structure. Okay, how can you write correctly? So here, for example, we are choosing old folks home. Okay, I'm going to choose one only because we have no time to do the orphanage or the animal shelter. But you can try, okay? If you prefer orphanage, you can try the exercise and write on orphanage. Okay, these are the suggested expressions or phrases. First, you can write, okay? So this for the weaker students or the average students, you can try to memorize the sentence. So you can say, I suggest or I propose. Okay, that's how you write in your message. Or you can say number 2, we can. And then you continue and complete the sentence. Or you can say we could. Okay, we could is a bit more formal. I think we can. My suggestion is, in my opinion, we should choose, or my choice is. Okay, so I've given you 7 expressions or suggestions for you to write. Okay, can we try? Can we try? Okay, anybody with a sentence I suggest or propose? Students, you can try to write. It's up to you whether you want to use the old folks home or the orphanage or the animal shelter.
Okay, students, let's
Students, try.
us your sentences.
Yes, write your sentences. Okay, use the 7 suggested expressions. If you like number 6, you can use number 6. If you like number 4, then you can try to write a sentence with number 4. So remember, these are the suggested phrases that you're supposed to use in your message. Okay? So try.
Okay, come on, students.
Do we have answer, Teacher Shirley?
So far, no yet. I think the students are still struggling. Okay, the first one from Chef Akil and Shan. I suggest
the line is
we
breaking, right?
The
line is not that
here
good.
is okay. Yeah. Okay, the first one is from Chef Akil and Shan.
Yes, students, try.
Okay, he said that I suggest we volunteer at the animal shelter. The first answer. Okay, and then that's the first one. For the second one, the second person, we have Lee Jung Hao. Jung Hao say, I suggest we can choose the orphanage. So there are 2 students have tried so far, so good.
Again.
Okay,
what is the sentence that Jun Hao wrote? I suggest.
Okay. Jung Hao say, I suggest we can choose the orphanage. What did Jung Hao say?
I suggest?
We can choose the orphanage.
I think the line is quite bad, right?
Mine here is okay. Okay, and then for Muhammad Khairul Fitri, okay, the third one, the third student say, I suggest we have a volunteer activities at the old folk home. I think, Khairul, you have a mistake there. volunteer activities. I think we shouldn't have ES.
Volunteer is more of you use as a verb. So you better say, I suggest we volunteer.
Okay, we
Okay, if you
volunteer.
want to use volunteer, you can say, I suggest we volunteer.
Okay,
And
I
then you can
suggest we
fill in the
volunteer.
rest. You can say, I suggest we volunteer at the old folks home. I suggest we volunteer at the old folks home or orphanage or animal shelter. Okay. So, but it's better that you write the whole sentence because this the word volunteer is taken from the question itself. So you can say, I suggest we should volunteer. Okay, we should volunteer at, or I suggest we volunteer to do charity work at. Okay, so the sentence is a bit longer. But try not to write too long because remember it's only 80 words.
Teacher Gan, how
Okay,
about
80
shared
words.
ideas?
You don't write wrong. You don't write long sentences in this part. Opinion, you should try to use simpler sentences. But when you elaborate, when you give reasons, you give ideas, these are the parts where you write better sentences. Okay. So for giving a choice, you don't write complex sentences, just a simple one. Just say, I suggest. Okay. So do you have any more answers?
Yeah, can we go for the third court first?
Yeah.
It's time
okay.
for the third court.
I just read the sentence. I suggest we
Okay.
volunteer at the animal shelter. So that is correct. Muhammad Cairo said, I suggest we have a volunteer activity. Okay, you don't say there. So you take out the you say, I suggest we have some, don't say some volunteer activities. So it should be voluntary activities. Voluntary is better, okay?
Activities.
I suggest we have some voluntary activities at the old folks home. Okay, so now let me share the third code. Is it time for the third
Yeah.
code?
Yeah, it's the time for third code.
Okay, the third code is number 1.
Number
And
1.
the third code is number 1. Okay. So here I'm going to show you some sentences, how you use these suggested expressions. Okay. So let's look at number 1. We can say, I suggest we go to the old folks home. I suggest or I propose we go to the old folks home. Okay, remember, students, you try to use simpler grammar or grammar structures. Okay, because why? You need not have complex sentences here because you're just suggesting. You're not writing the elaboration. Okay, so this is what you can write. Or you can write number 2. We can visit the old folks home. Then you name the place, Sayang House, example. Okay, number 3, you can say, we could go to the old folks home. And the number 4, the phrase is, I think we can. So you can say, I think we can visit the old folks home. Okay, number 5, my suggestion is to. Okay, the moment you say my suggestion is, remember you have the word to. Or my suggestion is, if you don't want to, you need to write here ing. Okay, so remember these 2 structures, they are very important. My suggestion is to visit the old folks home near our school. Or you need to write my suggestion is, without the to, you must say visiting. My suggestion is visiting the old folks home near our school. Okay, so remember these 2 structures. Be careful with to. To must have to visit. No to, you must write ing. Okay, so these 2 rules you must remember because here you will have your grammar errors. Okay, and the last one, my choice. Or something is missing. Where's number 7? We can, we could, I think we can, my suggestion. Okay, I forgot this, my opinion. In my opinion, we should choose. Okay, so this is simple also. We could choose the old folks home. Okay, my opinion is we should choose the old folks home. And the last, number 7, my choice is the old folks home. So you can see here, all the 7 suggested sentences, they are short, but they are precise. Short and precise mean straight to the point. Okay, where you want to go. Okay, so here, remember, don't write fancy vocabulary here. Okay, next. Okay, these are examples for the other places. I suggest we go to the orphanage Kasih Home in Seremban. Okay, if you want to choose orphanage. Or you can say we can visit the animal shelter, which is located in Kuantan. Okay, you can use it. We could go to the orphanage. Then you can name the name like that. I think we can visit the orphanage. My suggestion is to visit the animal shelter. My choice is the animal shelter. Okay, so write simple sentences here. Next, now these are longer because you're writing the reasons, you're writing the evidence. Okay, so here are some examples. There are some several activities. Okay, so you can use this suggested structure or phrase or expressions. So there are some or several activities. Then you continue. First, we can. Then you continue. The first activity is. Okay, then you continue. Then we can also. Okay, remember when you use first and second, you're only allowed to use two, first and second. Okay, if you write third, it shows that your vocabulary is poor because you are not able to use other words like then, next. Okay, so actually in English, you're supposed to stop at second, first and second. You don't say first, secondly, thirdly. Okay, so that is a bit weak. Okay, so next you're supposed to be able to use then. We can also, or next I suggest, and then it's time for you to use the cohesive devices. Okay, you need to use in addition, more, or furthermore, or moreover. Okay, and then number 7, you can give example. Okay, so blank, like, okay, something will be fun and exciting. So these are the phrases that you can use. Okay, let's look at the extra ideas. So these are 2 good sentences that you can use in your essay, in your message. Okay, the visit is a valuable reminder that we love them and are thinking of them. So if you can use the word valuable reminder, so this shows that you can use less common lexis. Less common lexis again means that better vocabulary. Okay. Or you can write sentence like spending time with the old folks has huge benefits. Okay. For their health, primarily. Okay, this is the most important. That's why it's called primarily. Keeping them emotionally happy and physically young. So if you can use like emotionally happy or physically young, it shows that you have better vocabulary. So you need this to score, especially in part 2. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, try to write now. Anybody try to write? You can choose number 1. There are some or several activities. Okay, how do you start, continue this sentence? Anybody? Students, you can try. Or you can do number 2. First we can, or the first activity is, or you can write then we can also, or next. Then you can continue in addition, furthermore, or moreover. Okay, any ideas, students? Let's try. We have about 10 minutes more. Okay, try. Because for writing, if you don't try, you cannot write. It is not only just looking at, for example, you read model essays. Okay, you read model essays, but you still need to look at the structure and learn those sentence structure. Then only you can, you need to apply it. So it means when you apply means you need to practice writing. Okay, practicing writing is the best way for you to improve your writing skills. Okay, let's try. Anybody?
Come on,
Any
students.
answer? Actually?
Any answer so far? No. The students are still struggling, I think.
Okay, try. You can use this. Earlier, right? I mentioned, right? Reasons. Okay, just now I mentioned about how we care and love. So these are suggested answers. Okay, or better ideas. Okay, you can write what you want to do. Clean, entertain, cook. Okay, so you can use all these in the expressions here. Okay, anybody? Do we have answers?
We have 2 students. First one for Lee Jung Hao.
Uh-huh.
The first activity is we can singing with them. I think you have a grammar mistake.
Okay. Yeah, we can. When you have can, you cannot put ing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
When
For
we
the second
can
one,
sing, you don't put ing. So be careful with the ing. Yes. Anybody else?
okay.
Do you have other answers?
Muhammad Khairul
I
Fitri.
can't really check on my phone here. It's lagging.
Okay, Muhammad Khairul Fitri say there are several activities we can do, like cleaning their house. I think you have a grammar mistake as well, because in the front you mentioned activities, but you only give one example.
Yeah. Yes. So when you mention several activities, at least you give two, and then you can say, for example, A, comma, B, and others. Okay. Use and others. Okay. About dan lain-lain. Okay. Make sure you don't use and so on. So on has no meaning actually. So you need to always end with and others.
And
Okay.
others. All right. And third
Yes,
one,
and
we
others.
have Syed Akil Aishat. Syed Akil say, first we can help clean the place. Is the sentence correct?
Yes, good. Yes,
Okay,
good.
to try.
First, we can help clean the place. Good. Because students also, you need to be aware of the word help. Okay, let me write here. I'll use a pen. For example, you want to say, first we can help. Okay, help is a good word, but remember, students tend to use help to clean. Okay, remember, help, you don't put to. Okay, I think you are used to this structure, help to. There is no to. Okay, you only say we can help clean, we can help make, we can help wash. Okay, there is no to for help. So be careful with this. Okay.
And then we have another
good
one.
answer.
Another one for Michelle. Okay, first we can help them to clean their rooms. We can help them to clean
remember,
their rooms.
there's no to.
We can help them. We can help them
so you
clean
say we
their
can
rooms.
help them clean. Yes.
Okay.
So if your structure, I lost my pen again. Let me help. First, we can help them. Okay, help them. So remember, you write them, clean their rooms. Okay, so clean their rooms. Okay, try not to use help to. There is no to there actually. Okay, so you can write room as a single one or rooms as plural. So you can say, first, we can help them clean their rooms. Okay, good. Good attempt. Okay, now let's look at the examples. Okay, so here, okay, you can write number one. There are some activities we can do. You can stop there instead of continuing. Okay, or you can say there are several activities we can do. So this is sentence number one. So do we have more answers?
Then
Yes.
for Muhammad Khairul Fitri say there are several activities we can do, like cleaning their house and entertain them. I think this sentence is correct. Muhammad Khairul.
If you start with cleaning the house, the second one also must be ing. So it must be cleaning their house and entertaining them. Okay? It must be the same. But if you say like clean their house and entertain, that is correct. So if the first one, the verb cleaning, ing, the second verb entertain must be entertaining. Okay? So they must be similar. Okay, let's look at my example here. So if you can write more, so I can see whether your sentences are correct. Okay? So first, we can clean. So the word can, you cannot put ing here. Okay? So you must write, first we can clean, first we can wash, first we can cut the grass. So it must be the original or the root verb. Okay? First we can clean, first we can cut, first we can feed the animals, first we can wash the drains, okay, or clean the drains, or first we can cut the grass, or first we can, you need to put the original verb. Okay, first we can clean the place. Okay, then you can give example. How? Like is example. If you don't want to use like, you can write such as. Okay, mop the floor and cut the grass. So here, if I use mop, I must make sure cut is also the same. But if I use mopping, cutting, okay, I must write cutting here. Okay, let's look at the next one. The first activity is cleaning the place. For example, okay, now I don't use like, because I already use like. So maybe next one I want to use example, for example. Or I can use for instance. So I've given you three ways to like for contoh. So you can use like, you can use examples, you can use for instance. Okay, so there are three ways to write. Okay, the first activity is cleaning the place. Then you stop. Okay, don't try to write sentences with more. If you write a sentence with more than 2 ideas, definitely there will be a lot of grammar errors. Okay, so stop. If you write, just join 2 ideas to form a sentence. Okay, so that's why you see my one is short. Okay, I stop here. Then you can start the sentence with, for instance, or for example, we can mop the floor and cut the grass. And remember, here can is for can mop, and this can is also for cut. So it means that can mop and can cut. So I've joined 2 ideas only. Okay. Or you can say, then we can also entertain the elderly. Or then we can also entertain the orphans. Okay. Next, I suggest we entertain the elderly. So you can see here, all these the other original or root verb. Okay, then you continue. In addition, furthermore, moreover, we can entertain the elderly. Okay, the last one here, number 7, you can write performances like dancing, singing, and a short play will be fun and exciting. Okay, so these
Teacher
are
Gan,
examples.
Can we have can we give the students the final code? The last code.
Okay, the final code. The final code is number 8. Number 8. Okay, so I'll continue. So here you can write for other options. Just now we have orphans, we have animal shelter, right? So you can write like this. There are several activities we can do there. Okay, first we can clean the place like mop the floor and cut the grass. The first activity is cleaning the place. We can, okay, for instance, we can clean the animal cages and give them a bath. Okay, so remember, you use the word can clean. Okay, so definitely here must be can give them a bath. Okay, then we can also entertain. So again, you see, entertain. Okay, next I suggest we feed. Okay, feed the stray animals. Okay, so here you have to have good words like stray, or you use a better vocabulary. That means terbiar. Okay, binatang yang terbiar. Abandons means binatang yang ditinggalkan. So you can write stray animals or abandoned animals. So these 2 words show that you have better vocabulary. Okay, or you can write less common lexis. Okay, next. In addition, furthermore, moreover, we can entertain the orphans. Okay, so entertain. Okay, performances like dancing, singing, and a short play will be fun and exciting. Okay, the last part I'm going to suggest, okay, I'm going to teach you how to write this. You put ing. Okay. Okay, and you can put n here. So this is a more complex structure. Okay, and another ing. Okay, and then you plus it with r. Okay, then you write. Okay, you can use, this is a difficult structure a bit because you're using gerunds. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Okay, so what do you think is the word here? Class, let's try the difficult structure here. ing and ing are great activities too. Okay, who wants to try this? Anybody? So this center is teaching you how to use the verb, but the verb when it is in front, as a subject, and later on as an object, you have to put ing. Okay. So anybody wants to try with this structure for the last sentence? Let's try this and see whether you can write various sentence structures. Do you have answers?
So far, no. I think the students are still trying.
Try, students.
Okay, come on, students.
Anybody? You know that the two options there are activities, right? So what do you put? What verbs do you use?
We have the first answer for Sheikh Akil. First answer for Sheikh Akil Aishad. Dancing and singing are great activities to entertain the elderly. And then for Muhammad Khairul Fitri, we have dancing and singing
Okay,
are great
good.
activities to
Yes, good,
entertain
good.
the orphans. Almost the same. The first one is elderly. The second one
Yes,
is the
yes.
orphans.
Good, good. Okay, so I'm giving you an option, so you can write. Instead of you write, we can. Okay, you can use a different structure. So you can say dancing and singing are great activities to what?
Entertain. To
To
entertain.
entertain the orphans, to entertain the elderly. Okay, or you can say dancing and singing are great activities to have. Okay, to have for the orphans. Or you can use just now, you say the word entertain. So that is a good choice. Okay. Okay, good answer. Dancing and singing are great activities to entertain the elderly. Okay, good. Okay. So, or maybe you can write other options if you have other activities. So remember, the ing and ing are for verbs. Okay, they are activities that you do. Or you can say painting. Painting, okay, and cutting the grass are two activities to clean the house or clean the place. Okay, so you can say cutting the grass and painting the walls are great activities to clean the place. Okay, so remember, these are different structures so that you can have variety of sentences in your answer. Okay, so let's look at the answer. So remember, greeting, hi Emily. Remember, for your message, you still need an introduction, a short one. You can say, how are you? I like your idea of doing a charity activity for the Leo Club next month. So your club has a name, it's Leo Club. Okay, so this is called an introduction in a message. Okay, it is better for you to have this. Okay, and then remember the contents. You have to write your option, the Oreo. Remember, opinion, reason, and examples. So I suggest we visit the old folks' home. There is a home, Sayang Care, which is located a short distance from our school. There are some activities we can do there. So you list. Okay, first, we can clean the place like mop the floor and cut the grass. And then remember, better cohesive devices. Start using. Therefore, okay, I think we need to remind the club members to bring some brooms, mops, and pails too. Then we can also entertain the elderly. Moreover, performances like dancing and singing and a short play will be fun and exciting. Okay, so remember, use two cohesive devices. Okay, therefore and moreover. Okay, let's look at the last one. The visit is a valuable reminder that we love and are thinking of them. Okay, then remember the ending. You have to have an ending for a message. I hope you agree with my suggestion. So here you can restate what is your suggestions. You can continue. I hope you agree with my suggestions. Okay, that is to visit the old and old folks home. Okay, so here it is the last O. Remember the Oreo? So this is called restating your opinion. And then you have to sign off. Bye. Bye is a sign off. Or you can write from. Okay, then don't forget the name of the writer. You cannot sign here. A message you can sign, okay, but not an email. So I advise not to sign, okay, not to sign at all, because you may forget that it's an email or a message. So my advice is just write your name, okay. So that is the message that you're going to write or the model answer. Okay, that's all.
There's
So
a
thank
question
you
from
for
Sheikh Akil.
listening to or attending this session today.
Teacher Gan, there is
Okay.
a question. There is a question from Sheikh Akil.
Question, yes?
Is the greeting included in counting the number of words?
Yes.
For the
Yes.
number of words. Yes.
Yes.
So we will start from the first word, right?
From hi Emily to the last one, bye Ida. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. From the first word to the last word.
All right, thank you. Okay,
Okay.
so we are done with today's session. Okay, we have learned a lot from Teacher Gan
Do you have more
about
questions?
writing made easy. I think so far no questions, right? Okay. So congratulations to all the students and teachers who are able to follow our session from the beginning to the end. And thank you very much, Teacher Gan, for such an interesting lesson. Okay, before I provide the certificate link, okay, please off the live chat button and click subscribe button if you haven't. This is to show your appreciation to Teacher Gan for giving you a free lesson today. Don't forget to click the bell button too, so you won't miss out any new videos and live classes from Teacher Gan. If you like today's class, then please click like and share it to your social media friends. Let's share the knowledge you received today with them. Okay, when you have finished, type done in the chat session. Okay, and we will give you the certificate link. Okay, once again, to fill up the certificate, you need to fill in using only eDidate account. Okay, if you are watching using another email account, shift to eDidate account. Okay, the link will only be active in 30 minutes. Okay, please click and fill in the form with the correct spelling, yeah? Okay, link for certificate is already in the chat section. Okay, so, and for those who haven't joined eDidate Junior Telegram, please do so. Okay, if you want to get more information, go to www.academyoutuber.com. Okay, so once again, I would like to thank Teacher Gan for the interesting lesson today. Okay, thank you also to Teacher Aisha, Teacher Aisha and Teacher Aiza for being with us today. Okay, I think that's all for now. Okay, see you in another session. Goodbye, everyone.
Wow, banyaknya hadiah menarik menanti anda. Wah, kini Akademi YouTuber mengambil inisiatif baru di mana memberikan hadiah-hadiah ini secara percuma. Ya, percuma kepada anda semua. Bagaimana caranya? Dengan mengikuti kelas tuition online percuma Akademi YouTuber sambil mengutip mata kredit, anda dapat menukarkannya dengan hadiah-hadiah yang menarik ini. Tunggu apa lagi? Segalanya percuma. Jangan lepaskan peluang tau. Dah dapat banyak hadiah menarik, takkan nak lepaskan peluang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com sekarang untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.